Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video we will discuss the salient features of the Indian Constitution. Please subscribe to the channel for more JPSC notes. The first topic which we will see is the lengthiest written constitution. Indian Constitution is the lengthiest of all the written constitutions of the world. It is very comprehensive, elaborate and a detailed document. Originally, in 1949, the Constitution contained a preamble, 395 articles which were divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules. Now let's see some factors contributing to the length of the Constitution. There are major 4 factors. Geographical factor. India is a vast country and has a vast diversity. B. Historical factors. The influence of the Government of India Act of 1935, which was very bulky. C. Single constitution. We have a single constitution for both the center and the states. And last one, dominance of legal luminaries in the Constituent Assembly. The second point is drawn from various sources. The structural part of the Constitution was derived from the Government of India Act of 1935. The philosophical part, that is the fundamental rights, derive its inspiration from the American Constitution. The directive principles of state policy is inspired from the Irish Constitution. The political part, that is the principle of cabinet government and the relations between the executive and the legislature, have been largely drawn from the British Constitution. The framers of the Constitution made necessary modifications in the features borrowed from other constitutions for their suitability to the Indian condition, at the same time avoiding their faults. Third point is a blend of rigidity and flexibility. The Constitution of India is neither rigid nor flexible but a synthesis of both. Like a rigid constitution that requires a special procedure for its amendment, some provisions can be amended by a special majority of the parliament, that is, a two-third majority of the members of each house present and voting, and a majority of the total membership of each house. Like a flexible constitution, some provisions can be amended by a simple majority of the parliament in the manner of ordinary legislative forces. These amendments do not come under Article 368. Our fourth point is federal system with unitary basis. Federal features of our constitution includes two government, division of powers, written constitution, supremacy of constitution, rigidity of constitution, independent judiciary, and bicameral. Unitary or non-federal features include a strong center, single constitution, single citizenship, flexibility of constitution, integrated judiciary, appointment of state governor by the center, all India services, emergency provisions, etc. Fifth part is parliamentary form of government. The parliamentary system is based on the principle of cooperation and coordination between the legislative and executive organs. Below are some of its features. First, presence of nominal and real executives. B. Majority party rule. C. Collective responsibility of the executives of the legislature. D. Membership of the ministers in the legislature. E. Leadership of Prime Minister or the Chief Minister. F. Dissolution of the lower house, Lok Sabha or the Assembly. Sixth, we'll discuss the synthesis of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. Our constitution is a proper synthesis between the British principle of parliamentary sovereignty and the American principle of judicial supremacy. The Supreme Court can declare the parliamentary laws as unconstitutional through the power of judicial review. The Parliament can amend the major portion of the Constitution through its constituent power. Seventh, we will see integrated and independent judiciary. First, integrated. The Supreme Court is at the top. Below it, there are high courts at the state level. Under high courts, there are district courts and other lower courts. This single system of courts enforces both the central laws as well as the state laws, unlike in US, where we have federal laws enforced only by federal judiciary. For independent, the Constitution has made provisions to ensure independence of Supreme Court. Some of them are security of tenure of the judges, fixed service conditions for judges. All expenses of the Supreme Court are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. Prohibition on discussion of conduct of judges in the legislatures. Ban on practice after retirement. Power to punish for its contempt vested in the Supreme Court. Separation of judiciary from the executive, etc. Eighth, we'll see the fundamental rights. The Part 3 of the Constitution guarantees six fundamental rights to all the citizens. They are enforceable by the court for their violation. They are not absolute and are subject to reasonable restrictions. The rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and the last one, right to constitutional remedies. We'll see this part in the next video in detail. Ninth is directive principles of state policy. These are meant for promoting the ideal of social and economic democracy. They seek to establish a welfare state in India, but they are not enforceable by the court for their violation, like we have our fundamental rights. 10th is fundamental duties. The Part 4A of the Constitution specifies the 11 fundamental duties. Some of them are respect the Constitution, national flag and national anthem, to protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of the country, to promote the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people, to preserve the rich heritage of our country, etc. 11th is universal adult franchise, which means every citizen who is not less than 18 years of age has a right to vote without any discrimination. 12th is single citizenship. Though the Indian Constitution is federal and envisages a dual polity for center and states, but it provides for only one single citizenship, that is the Indian citizenship. All citizens, irrespective of the state in which they are born or reside, enjoy the same political and civil rights of citizenship all over the country. While some other countries in the world have dual citizenship, for one for the country, other for the states. 13th is independent bodies. The Constitution not only provides for the legislative, executive, and judicial organs, but also establishes certain independent bodies like the Election Commission, Controller and Auditor General of India, Union Public Service Commission, and the State Public Service Commission. 14th, emergency provisions. The Constitution elaborates natural, state, and financial emergency provisions to enable the President to meet any extraordinary situation respectively. During an emergency, the central government becomes all powerful and the state go into total control of the center. Last is the three-tier government. The 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts of 1992 have added a third tier of government, that is the local, which is not found in any other constitution of the world. The 73rd Amendment gave constitutional recognition to the panchayats, which are also called as the rural local governments. The 74th Amendment gave constitutional recognition to the municipalities, which are the urban local governments. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you find it useful.